You're watching Let's Chat.
If you love barbecuing, grilling, smoking like I do, then this next guest is familiar, and if not, he certainly should be. It is Ray Lampe, better known as Dr. Barbecue. Dr. Barbecue.
I'm going to give you a
good to
fist
see
bump
you.
because I got my
good,
gloves
friend.
on.
I understand. Ray is a member of the Barbecue Hall of Fame, which is a very prestigious group. Took him years to get there, and now he's nice enough to share some of his tricks of the trade with us. Ray, ribs.
You know, people often ask me, what's your favorite thing to cook? Well, if I'm eating, it could be something different every week. If everybody else is eating, it's ribs. People are so passionate about ribs. Everybody I know can tell you where they ate the best slab of ribs they ever ate in their life.
And everybody seems to have their own little secret for making what they think is a good rib. I've had yours before, and they're not good. They left good in the rearview mirror a long time ago. These are excellent ribs. Where do you start?
So lots of practice. These are our loin back ribs, baby back ribs, and I've smoked them. So I peel the skin off, always do that.
Right.
These are all pretty well-known tricks now that we have the internet.
Sure.
I peel the skin off, I season them heavily with my peach chipotle rub. You always want to use a sweet rub on ribs.
Right.
My peach chipotle is great. You also want to look at that color. You know, some rubs will get too dark. On ribs, you want them to look like that. They often talk about mahogany. In my case, I'm talking about peachy.
Yeah.
But now they're mostly done. They taste really good, but they're not quite tender enough yet. We're going to wrap them up in foil. Once again, a trick that the barbecue guys, competition guys created. We all know it now. But as long as we're going to do that, we might as well sweeten them up a little bit, add a little more flavor. This is peach preserves. So you'll often see honey, brown sugar, different things put on top. I always like, this was an old competition secret of mine when I was competing, and I won a lot of money cooking this like this. Now, the trick is, though, you want to buy the store brand peach preserves if you can, because it won't have all those chunks of peach in there, which you might think were a good thing, but not necessarily when you're wrapping up some ribs. And now I'm going to, as I do this, double sheet of heavy foil. You got to be careful. Those bones will rip the foil, and then you just got to start over. And a little bit of apple juice in the bottom.
Just a little.
Just a little, just, you know, maybe 2 ounces. And wrap this up gently. And then it goes back in the smoker for about another hour.
So this is the final step of the 3-2-1 process on ribs?
Yes.
If you're doing the 3-2-1.
Well, actually, no, this is the 2 part. I don't always do the last one. Because when they come out of here, I got some right here, I'm going to show you. I don't necessarily think they need to go back on the grill. These look pretty darn good to me. I don't necessarily need barbecue sauce to cook them any longer. So this is 3-2 and we're done.
And they're very consistent in color and in tenderness and in looks.
And those chunks of peach, you know, at home, that's not so bad at all. I'm not going to mind that at all. So we look for this perfect tenderness, and you know this, so I'm going to ask you to judge this for me, Chip.
No pressure here, Ray.
At the competition, you know, we want it to be, you bite it, it comes off of the bone right where you bit it. But at home, a lot of people still like falling off the bone. We consider them overcooked. So if your people like them overcooked and falling off the bone, go for it. So let's see how I did today.
I'm gonna do this one right here.
The big meaty one. Good choice.
Wow, look at that. Perfect color.
A little bit of smoke ring.
A little bit of smoke ring.
Nice and meaty. Looks pretty nice.
You ready?
Yeah. Let's see what you think.
All right.
So the high score would be a 9. And actually, he couldn't eat it would be a 1. So we'll see what he comes up with.
No.
Texture looks nice. It came away from the bone. But see, the rest of it hung on. It didn't all just fall off.
Which is what it's supposed to do now.
Yep, that's real nice texture.
Wow. That, man.
Now, for the competition, I would put sauce on it just because people like barbecue sauce. But for at home, I don't think it needs it.
I don't think it does either. Would I give this a 9? No. I'd probably do a little better than a 9 on this. This is absolutely
You can't make up your own system. I guess you can. This is your house.
Well, it's my show. I'll make it up if I want to. No, I'm serious. I would give these, I'd give them a 9. They're really, really good. More importantly, you try one, see what you'd give it. Because you've judged hundreds of contests over the years.
Well, yeah, these days I do a lot more judging, and I am a master judge.
What do you think?
Yeah. Well,
what would you give it? This is your show, too.
I would give it, for me, it'd be an 8. It's too sweet. Well, but most people wouldn't agree with me.
You've had a lot more practice than I've had. I'd give it a 9.
Well, I have a different, you know, I like them a little bit different. For me, I don't like them as sweet as this, but most people want it as sweet as they can get it. So in most houses, I think that is a 9.
You and I were talking during the break. A lot of mistake that folks make is getting in a hurry and overcooking, regardless of whatever the protein is. And the sauce, if you're going to put any on here, it should be an accent. It should not be trying to cover up the meat, the taste, the texture, or the flavor.
Yeah, I like to serve sauce on the side. To me, it's a condiment.
Sure.
If you really got to burn it on there a little bit, wait till now. These ribs are done. Now I would sauce them, put them on the grill literally 2-3 minutes, just caramelize it a little bit, and that's all. Sauce is not your seasoning. It's a condiment.
That's exactly right. And you can find your rubs on your website, correct?
Yep, drbarbecue.com.
And Elder's Ace Hardware has a lot of them around the area, too. So, Ray, good to see you. I could stick around and talk for longer, or I could go to a commercial break and eat more rib. What do you think I'm going to do?
I think we should eat.
I think so, too. Stick around. We're back with more of Let's Chat after this.